sec. We're going to start 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Chocobo Dash. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Chocobo Dash. Unfortunately, Eliot is not available to join today, so instead we have myself, and we have one of my friends who is one of my Link Shell leaders and roommate and co-streamer. I'd like to welcome Izzy.
Hi. I'm Izzy, also known as Polemicus, also known as Captain Sparkle Happy Fun Pants.
Really?
No, not really.
I was going to say, that's kind of a bit of a detrimental name. That's really a detrimental name when you think about it. But we have official notes out now for patch 3.1. We figured we discuss them a little bit. Can I have the Makote hat?
Oh.
I feel like a cat today.
Okay, well, it doesn't fit right on you.
First and foremost, I got to thank out to Nintendo. Nintendo representatives gave me this at work. Yay! So, look at me. I am now Makote for the rest of the stream.
Yay!
Yay! But going on to the actual topic at hand. Yay, Cookie! Welcome! We have Cookie.
Welcome, Cookie!
So, we do know that on Tuesday is patch 3.1.
Yes. We have long been waiting patch 3.1 because
4.5 months.
We are all sick of running Never Reap.
You're sick of running Never Reap. You're sick of running Never Reap. The damn thing hasn't dropped me the deck yet. I will keep running Never Reap with no problem until the duck drops. Once the duck hits the fan, then
as long as it's not withholding a card from you, because you get a little bit grumpy when you withhold.
Claus, welcome! And yes, it's about damn time that we finally getting patch 3.1.
Yes. We've got the notes released on it. We've also had a bit of a trailer released.
First disclaimer, these are not the full notes. Full notes will be released on Tuesday. Well, technically Monday night after the servers go down and they got most of the patch installed.
Mm-hmm. So just like from watching the trailer itself, and you can see that on Lodestone if you want to check it out yourself. But there's a couple of notable things you see on there. First off, there are some I think new mounts in there from the Beast Tribe quest, but there's some notable old mounts in there that are joining us in the skies. It appears that we already knew this from before, but the primal mounts, all of them, are now going to be able to fly.
Are they sure? Well, we'll find out for sure when we get through the notes on that one.
Yeah, I've actually seen confirmation of that on Japanese Twitter. They've shown pictures of them. They actually sprout these etheric wings and will fly. And
makes me actually consider getting one of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, pony farms are going to go right through the roof again.
That makes it great for all you people who are interested in doing pony farms. Yay!
You want to get past Titan EX? Well, now's your time.
Oh God!
It's not as bad now.
Thankfully, I'm still past, and I got past it before all that crap.
And also, the Magitech Reapers, both versions, are shown to be flying. They have some sort of Robotech-ish, Batroid mode now, where they actually...
Technically, wouldn't that...
I guess it'd be the Valkyrie mode, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because the Battloid mode is when it's in full robot.
It's in robot mode. Well, whatever. It flies, which is incredibly awesome. So it's like, well, I'm never going to be using another mount ever again.
Especially considering there's something in the notes there I'm going to point out once we get down there. But Claus is going Magitech wings. Woo!
Woo!
All right, so let's go through some of the notes.
Okay, so first thing is that they're going to be bringing in new story quests, and this is going to introduce a new character who is wearing what looks very much like the traditional sage outfit from Final Fantasy III. That first
first appeared in Final Fantasy V, and
which is basically like a white mage's hood but with cat ears.
Claus brings up an interesting point. Do you think it'll still be able? Your Magitech Reaper will still be able to shoot in the air?
That I don't know. That I will be interested to find out. If that is the case,
I would imagine not.
People in the Churning Mists, I'm sorry, you're probably going to get dive bombed a lot.
I don't imagine it will. There might be a different ability that they get in the air. Because Teutonia, if I recall correctly, in the air has dive bomb.
Really, that's interesting.
But I don't know of any other mounts that have abilities in the air.
I'm sort of curious if they're going to be having us do like a quest for it, because the Reapers are not supposed to fly. So someone at Garland Ironworks is probably...
I can imagine that's going to be the case. And it's probably going to be Jessie, and she's probably going to be pissed at us again.
Yeah, it's like, why did we do this time? I'm sorry. Okay, so, but we have this new character who is probably the cutest Lalafell I've ever seen in my life.
To be fair, from the name, she's based off of Curly from Final Fantasy V, because Curly also was wearing a white robe with cat ears in her natural outfit.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a yellow robe with cat ears, and her first name is spelled the same.
Yeah.
So she might be directly referenced from Final Fantasy V.
There's no reason why not. We had Matoya.
I love Matoya. Alright, so we got a small list of some of the quests involved. An uncertain future, breaking the cycle, another time, another place, in the eye of the beholder, a little snow, a little late, dreams of the lost, against the dying of the light, and as goes light, so goes darkness. Obviously, all the descriptions of these are not going to be included on this, and probably not included on the final notes because spoilers.
Right. But yeah, those are just the main scenario quests that have cropped up. So I have speculating from the titles. I would probably say this is setting up the whole Warrior of Darkness thing. The end being as goes light, so goes darkness.
I actually think that somewhere towards the middle of this is when they're going to start the Warrior of Darkness.
Right.
And then we're going to finally, start to have like more solid evidence of what's going on towards the end of this arc. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we're going to actually encounter him until either the end of 3.2 or the middle of 3.3. Because it seems like they want to take their time with something like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a major thing. This is the guy they're bringing in to basically be the rival.
Sorry about the wobbling on the webcam a little bit.
Sorry, I'm bumping the table here. But this is the guy they're bringing in to be the rival of our characters who have more or less curb stomped everything else that's been thrown at us at this point.
Pretty much.
Now, they have other quests that have been added in here, which
We've also done some adjustments on some of the quests, too, if we look here. The requirements for progressing through the main scenario quests, Dress to Call, Passing the Muster, and Prudence at this junction have been adjusted to item level 5 instead of 10. Now, to be honest, that's a good thing, because you get a lot of level 5 gear from the quests at that point, and you didn't get a single pair of level 10 pants in any of those quests.
Mm-hmm.
So you always had to go and spend all the gil, and I do mean literally all the gil that you got from those first quests to buy those pants.
Yep, that sucked. Okay.
Requirements for progressing through the main scenario quest. Hesta the Best and Past the Small Hesta have been adjusted. These adjustments will not affect the storyline in any way. Players that are currently progressing through either of the above quests will need to cancel them and then re-accept the quest to complete them under the new and proper conditions.
I have to wonder what they're referring to on there, because I do.
Well, those are the ones where you had to do those 2 guild tests in order to progress to the main storyline.
Right. So I'm wondering what they're going to be doing to adjust that. Because I mean, one of the things I think a lot of people tended to hit that.
And they had never done the guild house.
Never done guild house before, so not only did they have to do those 2, but they had to do all the prerequisites for it. Which
I think the first one was like the 8th one in.
Yep. Okay, and then we have some new Chronicles of New Era stuff. We have some very interesting, flamboyant individuals there.
Sky Pirates!
Sky Pirates.
Yar, in the sky!
I have to guess that they're probably connected to the Void Ark in some way. That's a guess. That's a wild guess.
I can assume so as well, and I love the outfits that they wear. I love all the outfits that they show all 3 of these characters wearing.
Yeah. They also show in the trailer, they show a black Mana Clipper with no sails flying alongside our Mana Clipper. I'm guessing it probably belongs to this flamboyant individual here, the guy with the goggles and the black and red outfit.
Cookie's like Captain Jack Sparrow or a riot. I love me some Sparrow.
Oh god, well I wouldn't put it past them. I honestly wouldn't put it past them to do that. But we apparently have a couple other characters in here, and there's 2 quests that are part of it. And these are new Chronicles of a New Era quests, and that's usually what the Crystal Tower stuff was filed under, wasn't it?
I don't know, but let's take a look. Must have completed Heaven's Word. It must have completed the prerequisite quest. I don't know.
And we have some random French on the page here.
They're going to fix that. There is a bunch of random French in here that they're going to have to fix, and they know, and they've acknowledged it, that they're going to fix for the actual full-on patch notes.
We're Canadian, we can read it, right? Right?
Les conditions nécessaires pour commettre la courrier de Martin des Lames.
Right, Google Translate.
No, the conditions to complete, basically the conditions...
There we go, fixed.
Screw you! Basically, in order the conditions to go for Vervana EX are basically no longer tied to Bismarck EX.
Which is nice, because a lot of people don't really want to do Bismarck EX. Unless,
I noticed.
Well, you're doing Bismarck hard because...
That's because I can't get people to do Bismarck EX, which has a higher drop rate.
I would do Bismarck EX.
2 people with no duty finder capabilities on this fight.
No duty finder capabilities.
You can't duty find unless you go with a full party.
That sucks.
Which is something else they're going to be adding and changing. So, but you can actually duty find Q solo for Ravana and Bismarck EX.
Yay! Because I know a lot of people want those weapons, especially the Ravana ones. Now, there's another thing I'm wondering about here that relates to primals or primal-like things. Is that Diabolos is in the splash thing, but I don't remember any. He's
not shown up in any of the boss fights, but he is apparently tied to Void Ark.
That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. So I wonder how he got from Amdapor to there.
He's a freaking demon. He could just go like, "Hi, I'm randomly here."
Well,
I'm pretty sure there's some kind of tie to it.
That would indicate that it's our fault then, because we woke him up.
Well, when has that ever stopped anything else from happening in this game?
We don't have very good luck with Amdapor anything, do we?
We've woken up so much crap in this game that within the next five expansions, if it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass, I would be thoroughly impressed.
It's just that if it has anything to do with Amdapor, just leave us out of it. Trust us. It's for the best. Just send someone else.
All right. Because of the change to Bismarck and Ravana, however, there will be some condition changes for the achievement calling the War of the Triad.
Now, of course, that also leads up to that we still haven't seen what we're going to end up doing with the Warring Triad.
Well, we've gotten hints from doing the EX quests on the new primals, but unfortunately, since I can't find anyone to do Bismarck, I haven't seen it personally.
Okay, and then first was complete the crimes there. Thok around the clock.
Yeah, there's a new quest to complete called Thok around the clock to gain access to Ravana EX.
Right.
And new side story quests have been added. Thornton's Rage.
This would be the hard mode version of the fight against the Knights of the Round.
With not 1, not 2, not 3, or even Titan's 5 phases, this fight has 10 different phases. 10!
Hopefully it better drop some really nice gear.
Have you not seen the weapons?
No, I haven't, actually.
The Paladin's sword looks like Thornton's sword, and his shield looks like that pauldron that he has on his shoulder.
Well, then we're going to have to do that, aren't we?
Damn straight. I told you when we first did that fight that I wanted to take that sword home.
I know, we both did. It's like, just
yes, but I was the character who technically could wield that thing.
That's true. That's true. But, okay. So, I have to assume the Great Sword is probably just a larger version of that.
I hope it's a larger and better looking version. I'm tired of reskins.
Better looking, yeah.
I'm tired of freaking reskins of all the Dark Knight swords just being reskins of Paladin weapons in a larger size.
There's other, little tweaks they make. I think there's longer.
In a larger size. Alright. New side quests have been added for 2 new dungeons. Yay, 2 dungeons. Here's hoping that they add them to the current EX roulette so that way we don't get burnt out on them as fast.
Actually, no. From what I understand, I've actually looked into this. Unfortunately, that's not the case. What's happening is they're taking the existing 2 and Neverreap and Fractal Continue, and they're adding them to a new tier of quests called level 50 dungeons. Level 60 dungeons, sorry. All the other previous hard modes are being filed under level 50 dungeons, so it's basically they're adding another tier. And these ones are going to be the new EXs, and it's only going to be 2 dungeons.
Then from this point on, they need to add more because 2 is going to burn people out way too fast.
It is, especially since I look at St. Mossian's Arboretum, and I'm looking at that, I'm like, that's the Veil again, isn't it?
No.
That's Aurum Veil 2.0.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's full
of Morboros and poison things, and
it has Morboros, but it's not filled with poison stuff.
I'm sure it is.
Look, just because you want to be the pessimist and you don't want to fight that queen bee that looks awesome as shit, well, that's your problem.
That queen bee, which undoubtedly has poison moves.
Oprah Winfrey. Bees!
Oh, God. Alright, so...
You get bees! You get bees! Everybody gets bees!
All of them with final sting. Okay. And then they
realize I'm going to have to macro that now.
Well, as long as it replaces the bears.
I'm not replacing the bears. It's just going to go on another slot.
Oh, God damn it. And then they also are adding in Pharaoh Sirius Hard, which...
looks like we're going from the top down.
Top down, which is interesting. It looks like the...
basement time!
Yeah, the kobolds have moved in and have started making themselves pests, so we'll have to go kick them out again.
Basement time!
As long as there's no more zombies.
Okay, you gotta tell you a quick story. When we first did Very Serious Hard and the zombies first showed up, I was doing this with Izzy, and Izzy freaked. Absolutely freaked when those corpses got up.
It looked like there was a bunch of like decorative bodies around to like indicate that people had died in there and stuff, and
then
they
got
a chest, and then they all got up around us, and
specifically around you.
And they were moving really creepily and stuff. And this was the first. Yeah, this was the first advent of the zombie movements. So it was really, really creepy, and I would love to say that there's not video evidence of it on YouTube, but
there is, and it was beautiful. It's beautiful. It is majestic. If you're really interested, you can go to the channel and see.
The side quests also, another change they made, which is going to make it a lot easier for people moving through the areas, is the side quests required to unlock Aether Currents have been changed to prerequisite quests, which means that you're not going to have to be going around clicking on random side quests trying to find the chain that gives you the Aether Current quest, or using guides or whatever like that. If you could just go through the story, you'll get the you will get the Aether
You'll get the
Current.
quested Aether Currents.
Yes.
You still have to go find the ones that are still required to be found, which is good because that means you're still exploring the whole map.
Well, no, it means that if you don't do any of the side stuff and you just do the main story stuff, you'll get all the Aether Currents.
Yes, but I mean, you still have to explore to get the ones that are not quest related.
Right, but you're not going to miss them because you can't progress until you get them.
Sure enough.
Okay, so that will. But if you're currently working on it, when it with the old version of it, if you go through, it's saying here that you'll still be able to unlock the Aether Currents upon its completion, so you're not going to be.
You're not going to be fucked over, basically.
Yeah.
Let's see. They've removed, for some reason, the year next to the display for the seasonal events and the event journal. I don't know why.
Okay.
Best news. Well, maybe not best, but definitely some of the best news in the patch notes.
All right, now we're having the Vanu settlement. Corresponding Beast Tribe quests have been added to the Sea of Clouds. Which means they're probably going to teach us the dance.
Of course they're going to teach us the dance. Yoshi's already confirmed that. And yes, Yuki, sure, we totally need more than 2 X dungeons.
Yes, we do. We were hoping they're going to do 3 this time. That was just a time crunch, but
I'm pretty sure from this point on they're going to go back to the default 3. I'm just hoping that maybe they'll bump it up and make it to 4, and even if it means we have to wait an extra 2-3 weeks or something, I think that could be acceptable for 4 EX dungeons on a regular basis.
I'm thinking they're substituting in the Void Arc for 1.
This time?
Because, this time, for this rotation, because, people are going to be doing the Void Arc rather than these new dungeons, and that's going to supplement.
I don't really see how that.
It's still people are going to grow to hate this.
Everybody hates everything at some point, so it's a bit of a balance, and I have to agree that it really sucks with only 2 EX dungeons, but we'll get through it. I just hope that the next major patch will go up to 3.
Yeah,
at least 3, preferably 4, because 4 would be a nice balance to get at.
So this is going to be a new Beast Tribe settlement that's going to be called Naki Island.
Yay!
I don't know where that's actually going to show up, but
it's going to probably be near the current Beast Tribe encampment.
Yeah, and
3 new dances have been confirmed apparently, and hopefully one of them is Vanu dance.
Oh, certainly one of them is Vanu dance. Okay, so main quests will basically be 3 Beaks to the Wind, a tribal reunion, Linu's lovely bones, in the sky cage over the sea, fishing for friendship, Sun Drops the Beat, Nest Side Story, and the Nest of Hunt. Yay, localization team.
Localization team! Koji Fox, I love you, man! Oh my god, Michael Christopher, Koji Fox, oh my god, that's great! And it's totally the Bushwhacker stance. Oh my god, old wrestling.
Okay, so now into leave quests. The destination marker display has been changed for Guild and Temple Battlecraft Patrol leaves. Like I said, it's that little shiny thing they used to have on the ground that you run up to.
It just looked like dumb sparkles before.
Yeah, now it's got sort of this ground effect with...
It's much more, and lights.
It's much more obvious that they differentiated it from the sparkle that you pick up off the ground or whatever. It actually looks like a place
destination point.
Yeah. To reduce the congestion of the Sea of Clouds, the locations where monsters spawn for the Battlecraft leaves Marl Elementary Procedure, and nobody can farm Marl, but Marl have been changed.
Yeah, I can understand that, because that quest involves you having to kill a bunch of those things. And if there's going to be Beast Tribe quests in the area, and people are fighting over those mobs...
Exactly. Okay, treasure hunts. New item rewards have been added to the Time-Worn Wyvern and Dragonskin treasure maps.
And you'll never see them drop. I'm looking at you, you goddamn nutkin.
You're still sore about that, aren't you?
210 unhidden maps.
The acquisition rate for items that can be obtained through the Time-Worn Archaeo Skin, Wyvern, Dragonskin, and the unhidden leather maps have been adjusted. Maybe just 0.1%, but it's been adjusted. Okay, so Grand Companies. New items have been added.
To all 3 Grand Companies, they all get...
New ranks? No.
Swan feathers and eagle feathers. Cloth type item, costs 200 seals, requires you being a corporal in your current company.
I was really hoping they were going to release a higher rank other than...
I don't imagine we're going to get higher ranks until possibly the end of 3.0. Because remember, we only literally just started getting the Alliance back together and, you know, being allowed back into Ulda.
That's true. It's, you know... just
storyline-wise, it's going to take us a little bit before we can do it.
Right, but...
I don't agree with it, but...
Game mechanics-wise, Grand Company gear is... Usually a lot of people have used that to supplement their leveling of jobs and stuff, and it cuts off at 50. And...
Technically, it cuts off at I-70.
Yeah, it cuts off at I-70. It would be nice to get a supplement in there, especially if you're... if you got a character who's like, you know, some stuff for like the in-between levels where you're leveling up your sub-jobs and stuff and you don't have that quest gear for yourself and you need a better weapon and it's just not dropping from the area. Yeah. It'd be nice if you could go get some from the Grand Company with seals, all those seals that are building up that you had nothing to spend on but stupid venture tokens.
Hey, those aren't stupid. Those get me a couple of gil.
Those get me fish.
You're doing retainers wrong.
My retainers.
You're doing retainers wrong.
My retainer. I have a botanist and a gladiator.
You're doing retainers wrong.
My retainers are doing retainers wrong.
Claus has the right idea.
What?
Buy all the coke. Snort it. Well, he didn't say snort it, but that's
retainers will still be useless, but you won't care. Okay, the number of items players would like to exchange for company seals can now be specified. So
thank you!
Instead of going, repeating over and over and over again.
I have spent, one time, I spent 50,000 seals on coke for our airship for the Free Company by one at a goddamn time. Do you realize how long that took?
And long enough for you to
10 minutes! Took me 10 goddamn minutes to do it. 10 minutes. It should not take 10 minutes.
Right, because then you rant about it. Okay, the items in your inventory displayed in the supply and provisioning missions window will now display as either normal quality or high quality. Okay.
By the way, Yuki's already snorting all the coke. He's snorting all the coke.
No, we need some of that for the airship.
Too late, he already snorted it all. We have no more coke left in that.
Okay, so we'll just have to grind up Yuki. Use Yuki in the airship then. Okay, Free Company names can now be changed. Okay, so to change Free Company names, players must speak with the OIC Administrator Grand Company Headquarters. That's nice for the people who, you know...
They inherited a Free Company or bought a Free Company.
Yeah, or, you know, they decided that, you know, their hilarious name, you know...
Douche Nozzle Free Company.
Yeah, you know, back in 2.0, when they set it up, the shine has kind of worn off on the name a little.
We're the hardcore endgame raid shell. Douche Nozzle.
Yeah.
Maybe we should change our name?
Yeah.
Nope. Square says douche nozzle it is forever until Tuesday.
Yeah. The following symbol options for clash and job icons have been added to company crests. Rogue, Ninja, Dark Knight, Astrologian, Machinist.
Now, the Ninja one I could see being kind of cool for some designs. The Dark Knight one. I can't really see the Astrologian, Machinist, or the Rogue one being all that useful for these designs, but that's just me. I'm not overly creative with those designs.
Yeah, it's more of a roleplay thing if you wanted to indicate, like the Rogue one would be nice if you wanted to indicate that your Free Company was associated with the Thieves Guild. But yeah, that's sort of a little bit of a roleplay thing. For other people, you know, it's... You know,
I could see the Ninja one being really neat for kind of a rating Free Company because it's a shuriken.
Yeah. Okay, new items that can be crafted for company projects have been added.
And it's the most adorable Moogle house ever! It's Koopo-tastic!
And as soon as someone builds one, my retainer will steal it from me. Because they do that. They steal people's entire
I thought they brought you fish.
They have to put the fish in something to bring it. It's like the wrapping paper. It's like, here, I bought you a fish in a cottage.
You really do retainers wrong.
Yes, I do. Okay, so the rested experience bonus and experience bonus items no longer apply when gaining experience from company projects.
Boo! Boo!
The amount of time, the last thing we needed was for crafting jobs and gathering jobs to take more time to level. The amount of time required to fully charge grades 1 through 3 of Ethereal wheels has been shortened.
That's nice. Can you actually make it easier to get the grade 3 materials for this?
Yeah. Well, maybe I wonder if that's something we're going to be able to get when we're going on the airship expeditions.
Possibly.
Retaining summoning bells have been added to company workshops.
Useful. Very useful, especially for smaller free companies who can't afford to buy the bell.
Yep. Means you don't have to keep on running outside to the board. Now, if they just give us a board.
I don't want the board in the house.
You know?
No, because if you have a board in the house, then people aren't going to socialize. They'll just literally walk 2 steps for things.
They're going to spend some time inside. They don't now. They just stand outside on the lawn because they have to go to the board. Anyway, exploratory voyages have been adjusted as follows. New items have been added, obtainable through exploratory voyages. Voyage EXP gained upon returning from a voyage has been increased. Yay! The following features have been added to the flight control panel. Previously summoned airship will be displayed at the flight control panel. Status of the airships on exploratory voyages can be viewed. Navigational charts can be viewed during exploratory voyages. When making airship repairs, the amount of repair materials in your possession can be viewed. The repair screen can be viewed even when you have no repair materials or cerulean tanks in your possession. And when deploying an airship, the cutscene is visible to all players in the workshop.
Thank you!
Yay! I still haven't seen it yet. I am looking forward to that.
Claus says that they just want to be able to craft the materials that are on your retainer without having to have them in your inventory.
That would be nice, even if you just had some in your retainer and then squat down and start crafting.
I would say for something like that, you would have to be within so many yalms of the retainer bell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my idea would be you'd probably have to summon the retainer that has the materials, and then you'd have a button saying craft that would get you into your crafting menu.
Yeah, I can see that. That way you still are interacting with your retainer.
Yeah, and that way
This prevents you from, crafting with your retainer way the hell away from it, far,
Yeah, you're not in, tail feather pulling magically from their inventory. Housing! New furnishings have been added. So, there's
there's a stack of books.
That's not a stack, that's just a pile. That's like...
Can I make a book for it?
Yes. There's toadstool stools. So apparently you take one of those mushroom things from the Black Shroud, you murder it, you stuff it, and you use it as a seat.
Okay, then.
There's Chocobo hatchling hedge.
That actually looks really cute and really nice. I could see that being something very nice. The best way I could see something like that being is a set of 2 would be, say, if you have, a large house and you want to section off part of it into, a kind of a Zen garden, you could have the 2 of them facing off on either side, facing towards the middle.
And there also looks like there's this is not the Culinarian's crafting thing. It looks like they have a stove item that's not the actual Culinarian's one. So those people who don't want to spend a million bajillion gil on the actual crafting station, but want a stove in there, it looks like they have now just a regular stove.
Unless, because if you look on the side of that, there's another piece of furniture that we never had before. I'm wondering if they're adding new crafting style materials or stations for going up to level 60.
That's possible. Is that like a sink or something? I don't know. Okay. New indoor furnishings allowing quest cutscenes to be viewed from within houses. The unending journey has been added.
Yay! Now I can watch stuff without ever having to go back to the in-room, except to change my hairstyle.
Yep, and hopefully they will fix that soon, so we don't have to go back to the in-room at all.
Yeah, I mean, if I've got a room in my free company, or if I have my own personal house, why should I have to go to the in-room?
It's like having to book a room at the Hilton to get a trim. It's ridiculous. Okay, new items can be grown via gardening. Okay.
You realize what that means? It means all those new items that we just got are going to require such a super advanced gardening techniques.
Yeah.
That require crossbreeding, grade 9 plants 5 different ways, and then you only have a 4% chance of getting the seed.
Yeah. Help.
I mean, clearly they didn't learn their lesson from Thabnerian onions, right?
No, they did not. Okay, a new estate vendor NPC, the steward, has been added. Which is basically if it's you go
The
female,
butler or maid.
butler or maid. I don't know what they're actually going to do, but whatever.
We'll probably have more details about that in the final.
Yep. Number of vendor NPCs allowed in the estate has been adjusted, of course, because you add a new.
No clause. No, you get that, and you take that and keep that out of our 14.
What?
Facing specific directions on specific weather's day.
No.
And don't even bring up. I see you typing that. Don't even dare bring up moon phase.
You go to Vanadale. You go to Vanadale and you die.
And D level, not die. D level.
Okay, and so of course they increased the number of vendor NPCs because
with creating a new vendor NPC, might as well increase the 2.
Yeah, because otherwise some people are going to have some problems.
Yeah, because private chambers go from 1 to 2, small goes from 2 to 3, medium goes from 3 to 4, large goes from 4 to 5.
A new feature for personal housing estate sharing has been implemented.
This is not for personal rooms. This is only for personal housing.
With estate sharing, the owner of a house may designate up to 3 of their friends as tenants who have access to the house and its associated features. A player may only be a tenant of at most 2 houses. But that's an interesting thing because it means that you can. It's kind of like if you got a couple, you don't have to create a free company or have your house go to your free company if you just want your friends to be able to come in and use your crafting stations.
True, and on top of that too, like let's say because there is a lot of topic about people going on military service and losing their house, right?
Yeah.
Well. Make a tenant and have your tenant someone that plays on a regular basis. Just go, hey, yo, do you mind stepping in my house once a month?
So we are now creating a house sitting economy in yours, yeah. This is.
I am going to offer my services now. You want me to keep an eye on your house while you are away on military service? I will do it for a low sum of 10 million gil per month.
And all of your other valuable possessions.
No, just 10 million gil per month. And, by the way, that's a maximum of 3 months.
The owner.
Oh, they confirmed it doesn't work that way. Boo! I was about to make 10 million gil per month.
No, you weren't. Shh. Tenant authorizations. The owner of a house may configure the following authorizations for the tenants. Add or removing dying furnishings, planting, gardening, planting, harvesting, crop disposal, stable tending, stabling chocobos.
Extortion is now confirmed.
hopefully they're going to actually add some new plots so that people can buy personal housing because
don't forget that when this all comes out on Tuesday, they start the whole house retraction thing, which we'll be talking about there in a little bit. But it's a 40. If you don't come into your house or your free company doesn't go into the house within 45 days, then the house is demolished and the land goes back up for sale. Do you realize what 45 days is after Tuesday?
What?
Merry Christmas.
We might actually be in trouble though because no one actually goes into the house. They
hey, screw you! I go in the house once a day.
Okay, and customization is adding room. Yeah, it's just hard with customization.
Stay evictions. Please look forward to it.
Teleporting. Tenants may use the miniature aetheryte placed on the owner's estate grounds. And now, to ensure this plot of lands are not claimed and left unused, estates not accessed for extended periods of time will be automatically demolished. Estate subject to demolishing. Free company housing that has not been accessed by at least one member of the free company within 45 days, as you said. Private housing that has not been accessed by the owner within 45 days, so I guess tenants don't count. Purchase plots of land which the estate has not been built within 45 days. The count for the days of inactivity will begin on the release of patch 3.1.
That would be Tuesday.
So, yeah, if you're planning
Tuesday the 10th.
If you're planning on going away until after Christmas,
there's 30 days.
Don't buy a house or sell it now.
There's 30 days in November, and it's coming out on the 10th. So take off 20 from that 45. It's 25. Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. Free house plotting for everyone.
Steps prior to demolishing. 30 days of inactivity. A notification indicating the estate is preparing for auto demolition will appear in the timer's interface in the duty tab of the main menu.
So, after a month of not stepping foot in your house, you get your first warning.
Basically, you get an eviction. You get a condemned notice on your door. 35 days of inactivity. An email will be delivered to the registered email address of all free company members or the owner of the private estate, indicating the estate is being prepared for auto demolition.
So, 5 days after the first notice, everybody in your free company gets a notice. Hey, idiots! Somebody step into me. Someone step into my house.
Step inside. Disturb the dust.
It's like, hey, look! If your house is super important to you, pay the money for a sub for 1 month. Step inside, and make me not have to go kapoof.
42 days of inactivity. An email will be delivered to the registered email address of all free company members or the owner of the private estate, indicating the estate will be demolished automatically in 3 days. 45 days of inactivity, the estate will be automatically demolished.
So you get 1, the first warning, which is this patch note. 2, the official patch notes fully released on Tuesday. 3, the 30-day notice. 4, the 35-day notice. 5, the 42-day notice. You are getting 5 warnings about this.
And then 6 on day 46, the angry posting on Lodestone saying, yes, he didn't let me know this was going to happen.
You have been given 5 notices. 2 up front, 3 when it starts to occur. There should be zero bullshit of Square Enix didn't tell me this. Square Enix didn't tell me that.
We both know that's not going to happen. That's not how that's not how human beings work.
Doesn't matter. It's in writing right here, and it'll be there on Tuesday, and it'll be sent out to people.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Halting demolition.
Step foot in your goddamn house after 30 days if you don't want it to explode.
Halting demolition. Any free company member or private housing owner entering an estate at any time prior to the demolition will cancel the demolition process.
See?
A tenant entering a shared estate will not cancel the demolition process.
Boo. House sitting, boo.
After demolition, when an estate has been demolished or the rights to an empty plot have been relinquished, said plot will be made available for purchase to all players on that world. The price will decrease every 6 hours from the time which has been made available to purchase. So like how it worked originally. Reclaiming Gill and items. When an estate has been demolished, Gill and certain furnishings will be placed in the care of the resident caretaker for a fixed period of time.
Anything that basically says that you can pick it up again will be sent to that caretaker. Anything that says that's destroyed when you pick it up, sorry, you're SOL.
Yep,
it's your own damn fault for not stepping foot in your house.
Redeemable from the resident caretaker. 80% of the price paid for the estate ground. So you're not completely screwed out because you will get some of the money back. Indoor and outdoor furnishings that are not destroyed upon removal. Chocobo stable on the estate ground. So they don't drive the bulldozer over your bird.
Well, at least the bird's safe.
Not redeemable from the resident caretaker. The construction permit required to build an estate.
Yuki, Minjin got curved for houses of the worlds. It's like, hey, look, your house is up for auction.
Not redeemable from the resident caretaker. The construction permit required to build an estate. Yeah, because furnishings destroyed upon removal, housing exteriors, private chambers, plants in the garden that have yet to be harvested, ethereal wheels that have yet to finish charging, gills...
French,
and random French. So we'll figure out what the rest of that means later. Players have 35 days to redeem items from the resident caretaker before they are made irredeemable. Actually, give me a second here. Let me see.
35 days? So, 2 months. If you do not pick up your stuff within 2 months... no, 3 months, is it?
No, it's not quite.
It's almost 3 months. Almost 3 months. From the time where no one sets foot in your house to when you absolutely lose everything. 80 days.
Yep. Chocobos are not subjected to the 35-day time.
Well, obviously not, because your Chocobo is not tied to the house.
Yeah. Adjustable lighting has been implemented, allowing house lighting to be set
oh my
one
God.
of 5 levels. That's awesome.
This was one of the first things that I requested way back when they first started taking requests regarding housing furniture and options. And I was like, is there some way to change the lighting? Because, I have the office room. And the office I find is way too freaking bright.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd looked for a way to tone it down.
Yep, well, now you have it. Okay, new settings have been added to change the appearance of retainers employed as merchants on the estate grounds. Weapons display and standing pose. So
you can change what pose they're in, and if you want them to show off the weapons that they have equipped or not.
New behaviors have been added to stable Chocobos. Really?
Quay?
Okay, that's interesting.
Or should I say Quay?
Well, it'd probably actually be kind of cool if they were a little bit animated in there. New items are available from resident caretaker NPCs in each housing area in exchange for company credits. Mission Ceruleum.
That's probably going to be used as fuel to take you out for the
mission stuff.
Yeah.
So probably a higher grade of fuel for your airship. The field can now be accessed from the subdivision entrance. Players who own housing in a subdivision can now go directly to that subdivision by selecting Travel to Ward with Private Estate or Travel to Ward with Free Company Estate. So you're no longer second-class citizens. Okay, now we're getting into the fun stuff. Gotta catch them all. You want to be the very best, like no one ever was?
To catch them is my real test, and to kick your ass is my cause.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all mammoths within the nation.
I can't think of a funny line for this one.
No. I actually have... I'll do this one on stream. I have to remember it. Actually, I wonder if I have it still on macro. Anyways, keep reading.
Okay, the Lord of Vermilion has been added to the Gold Saucer. Lord of Vermilion is a competitive minigame in which players engage an opponent using summoned minions. The objective for winning the game is to have the minions destroy all of the opponent's Arcana Stones placed on the battlefield. Players can participate in matches against other players or against the CPU. Stats and ability types vary from minion to minion, making it possible to bring together different special actions for diverse battle strategies. Lord of Vermilion is a strategy-based minigame conducted in real time, which means the player will need to plan their minions' positions during combat.
Okay, I found it. To save Eorzea from devastation and unite all peoples unto one nation. To denounce the evils of the Icon's call and raise the flag of Garlemald. Gaius, Nero, Magtech weapons blast off at the speed of light. Surrender now or face a fight. Asian! That's right!
Oh, God. Anyway, so it looks interesting. It looks like it's sort of almost a MOBA-style, like, real-time strategy game where you're basically commanding a group of minions.
My Heroes of the Storm minor training will pay off!
No, it won't. Shh. Entry requirements. Lord of Vermilion will be available on unlocking the Gold Saucer. Players who have already unlocked the Gold Saucer of patch 3.1 will automatically have access to Lord of Vermilion. Sorry, not Lord of Vermilion. Lord of Verminion.
Lord of Vermilion's a good game, too. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on that.
Players can access Lord of Verminion in a new area called Minion Square, located inside Chocobo Square. Players can enter Chocobo Square by speaking with the lift operator, Sathrith at Entrance Square, and bloody coordinates, bloody.
There is a lot, and a lot of stats for the minions.
3 minions or more are required to play Lord of Verminion. Before the match begins, players will select which minions to summon using the special minion hotbar. To edit the minion hotbar, select the Verminion tab in the Gold Saucer window under Character in the main menu. The minion hotbar can also be edited from the minion guide under the Character in the main menu. Minion stats. Each minion has their own stats and special action. Players can view a selected minion's stats when editing the minion hotbar.
Now, this is one thing that I really do not. I really don't envy Minion Menagerie website because they have to update all the minions with these.
Oh yeah.
Because every minion has different hit points, attack, defense, speed, special action, costs, points, elemental type, minion type.
And that's the next bit, is the minion type. Is that they've got a rock, paper, scissors type deal going on here, where you have minions are segregated into 4 types: monster, critter, poppet, and gadget. 3 types will fight at either an advantage or a disadvantage depending on the nature of their opponent. The strength and weaknesses Affinities for a monster, critter, and poppet are listed in the picture below. Monsters, like the little bomb minion, are strong against critters, weak against poppets. Critters are weak against monsters and strong against poppets. Poppets are weak against critters and strong against monsters. And then gadgets are neutral.
It's basically, if you want like a super duper easy comparison, Fire Emblem's weapon tree. Sword beats axe, axe beats lance, lance beats sword.
Or you could just go grass type, water type, fire type.
Silence you. Ludovox, welcome. Welcome. We're just discussing Lord of Verminion right now.
Minion cost. Each minion has a summoning cost. Cost affects which minions the player can summon to the battlefield, and the player cannot summon minions which exceed the set total cost, which means that no one is going to have a huge advantage because they have certain epic minions, because those epic minions will use up higher costs, which means they'll have to summon weaker. The rest of the team will have to be weaker. This is I'm guessing is going. This is set to balance.
Numbers versus power.
Yeah. And
now I can imagine, and I remember Yoshi being asked a question about the minions on the Mog Station being more powerful because you paid real money for them, and he said, no, that's not necessarily going to be the case.
Right. And if they are more powerful, they're going to cost more minion cost, which means your other two team members are going to have to be less powerful, which means basically it looks like
it's a trade-off.
It's going to come down less to what minions you have and what type of team build you want to use. Do you want to use one?
Do you want to use Zergling Rush, or do you want to do more Battleship?
Right. And so, cost affects how much time it will take to summon the next minion. For instance, when a player summons a minion out of the high cost value, it will take a longer amount of time to summon the next minion to the battlefield. Minion parameters.
Basically, hit points, attack, defense, speed, auto attack, strengths. There's a lot on this Lord of Verminion stuff, and to be perfectly frank, there is a lot to talk about on this, and I don't think we should get too in-depth onto the Lord of Verminion stuff. But I will be definitely seeing what I can do to stream a couple matches on launch day, and maybe kick your butt a couple times while we try to figure it out.
Sure, that'll happen. Okay, and so on to the next one. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. This is like the majority of the.
No, it's not. It's not even close to the majority, but it is a very large section.
Okay. Enough of this.
Cookie's like, good. I was napping during this Lord of Verminion chat anyway. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, if you're not super excited about it, it's not something you're going to be overly interested in. And going into the super details of it is only for if you really want to know more about it.
Yeah. Now, there are new minigames that have been added to the Chocobo Square. I don't know if you care about them or not. They have the Finer Miner and Out on a Limb for those who are miners or botanists.
Awesome thing about it, those are the 1.0 gathering games.
Which for those of us from 1.0, that just in and of itself would be nice just to do that again and remind ourselves why we hated it so much.
Hey, I actually really enjoyed that system, and that's one of the things that I did miss. I did miss having those. They made gathering a little bit more tedious, but, I mean, it was more fun.
They also have new items that you can exchange for MGP. There's a new coral head hat, and there is a new tool that allows you to make Lalafels useful by turning them into dinner platters.
Basically, it's a turkey hat.
Yes. Finally, a use for them.
Yeltsin's like, I ranted against the 2.0 push button get bacon and preferred the 1.0 gathering system.
Yeah, it was way more involved. It was from back when gathering classes and crafting classes were part of the original idea of them being equivalent to the combat classes. The whole idea that you could
Yelta's saying, "Don't hate the Lalafell." It's kind of a running joke for Izzy to poke fun at Lalafels.
Yeah, I don't mean anything by it.
I mean, I joke and call them potatoes sometimes, but that's more or less because I'm tired of every time new gear is first found, it's always shown on a Lalafell in the dark.
Okay, and
Like, if you're a Lalafell and you get it, great, but at least look for some bright light for it. I mean, I'm tired of trying to make out the gear by squinting at the screen and cranking up the gamma.
Okay, and for those of you who are interested in the hairstyle winners, the Minion Trader at the Minion Square offers minions in exchange for Gilliam MGP, and the Modern Aesthetics...
Oh, look at my claws, bro.
Now you have a main dish to go with your potato.
Bravo.
Turkey and potatoes. The Modern Aesthetics saleswoman at this entrance square in the Gold Saucer offers hair catalogs which include the hairstyle design contest winners in exchange for MGP. So those people who are interested in
all the new the winners of the hairstyle contest, you can get them at the Gold Saucer.
So start saving your MGP now if you desperately want that fro.
It'll probably only be about 6,000.
Yeah, I mean, so we're basically
the previous haircut I think was 6,000 to 8,000.
So it's like we'll be seeing,
it'll be like dirt cheap.
We'll be seeing like every Highlander and Lalafell male with a fro running around.
Everyone's going to be calling themselves Bob Ross. Happy little trees.
Happy little trees. The following adjustments have been made to Triple Triad. New cards have been added. It looks like...
there's a couple of them.
Looks like a couple of them are just going to be regular cards.
Space Passia. Space Passia card.
Yeah, and you have...
Pippin.
Yeah, you have Pippin, and you have the Sabatender from...
Senor Sabatender. Yeah. New opponents added for Triple Triad.
Gee, I wonder what they're going to be for. Yeah.
Yay, they're going to be all random. Just watch.
Certain existing cards are now obtained through different means. So watch. You'll find out that the Cloud card is now obtained through a completely different means.
As long as it's fucking retarded and difficult to get, I don't care, because I bought it with the 1 million MGP, so fuck you, Square.
Now buy it with 10,000 MGP.
I will kill you and everybody you know except for me. Cards previously attainable through dungeons and trials can now be attained from dueling certain NPCs, so that's actually pretty good for, there's only so many times you could throw your head. Not just that, but, remember fighting for Terra.
Bismarck.
350 matches against Terra, or against Ultros trying to get Terra.
I think it was less so much that the number of times you threw yourself at it, but the number of people who went with you who got the card in multiples.
No, the point is, there was no other way to obtain Terra except for that fight. And now they're looking at making it so that cards like that are only attainable during fights would be attainable elsewhere as well, so that way there's alternatives.
Which means that if you have not yet completed Dragon's Neck, do it now. Do it now. Do it now, because no one is going to be doing it after
Go do Bismarck now. Go do Bismarck now, or at least wait until this podcast is done. Go do Bismarck now. And then once I have my card, you can go wait until replay more.
That only helps us if they're on Balmont.
No, they just have to be on the Aether data center.
Okay. And chance of obtaining cards from dueling certain NPCs has been increased.
Please make it so all the random NPCs have ridiculous drop rates, because this is getting ridiculous of having high difficulty and low drop rates. Those are two things that should not be together. If it's a high difficulty, it should have a high drop rate. Because if you only have like a 30% win rate against somebody, and you have like 90 plus cards, you're getting to the point where it's not fun to throw yourself at a 30% win rate for a low percentage chance of getting a card.
Also, we have Triple Triad Mythrite packs have been added. So now you can spend even more MGP to get those 5 1-star
I'm probably going to wait on those. No, seriously. Probably. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to get all the cards that are available that are not in those packs first. Okay? I'm going to see what's in the packs, because I know people are going to charge into that head first.
Yeah. And
then I will see what I need to get.
And Totaro is no longer available as an opponent for Triple Triad. Someone killed her! Yay!
No, just a second. No, clearly it wasn't me.
No.
Clearly it wasn't me that killed her. I mean, I don't have a Garlean gunblade up on the wall.
Either that or she's gone evil. We'll see. New challenge log entries have been added. There's a
whole bunch of gold saucer
challenge.
I counted up the total MGP. the total amount of MGP you can gain, not counting the rewards you get from doing this, like just straight up the the MGP you get from the log every week is 9,500. And it's like, play 3 mini games, participate in 10 gates, win 3 gates. I mean, this is stuff you can do easily within like the first couple hours that patch comes up, or like the weekly reset. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. You got almost 10,000 MGP right off the bat. That's pretty much the cost of doing a scratch ticket.
Yep. So if you don't like Gold Saucer though, well, I'm sorry.
Well, just think of it this way.
But here's
you really want those hairstyles?
You gotta do the
2
Gold
weeks.
Saucer.
2 weeks, and you're guaranteed to have enough for all the hairstyles.
Okay. For now, moving on from the Gold Saucer stuff, there's now following adjustments have been made to the Heaven's Word sightseeing log. Now, I have to say the sightseeing log they had in Heaven's Word is a vast improvement over the original one.
Yes.
Because the original one was
basically stand there, scratch your head, and figure out what the hell you were doing wrong.
Yeah, it's basically you mess with it for one of them, and then you go and find an online guide, and you still mess with it. This one, at least, they gave you little sparklies. Well, they've changed what the sparklies look like. They made them a lot easier to see. And they've got sort of their own unique thing, so they don't look like that generic ground sparkly pickup point.
No, it looks almost like a glowing, pulsating orb.
Well, actually, it almost looks like a globe, like a planet globe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things.
It might. It's something I think I might have to see in action first, because as it looks right now, it looks kind of like it's pulsating.
Yep. The following mounts can now fly. Drum roll, please. Airman. Bomb Palanquin. Logistics System.
That's the ADS mount.
Kirin. Magitech Armor. Gilded Magitech Armor. Draft Chocobo. Ceremony Chocobo. Amber Draft Chocobo. It's Draft Chocobo, trust me. Amber Draft Chocobo. So,
doesn't say anything about the elemental ponies.
So those of you who have the... Okay, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was just the Kirin mount. But those of you who have the 2-person Chocobos, they can now fly. Now the question is...
I don't think they'll allow you to fly if both people don't have it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they probably won't allow you to fly unless both people have the Aether Nodes, but we're going to have to experiment with this and find out. So we're going to have to find some friends who don't have all the Aether Nodes and see if we can take them around.
We could possibly see if Shizu doesn't, because there's a couple of spots where she doesn't have it.
Because if you can, then that would make things... That would make things very interesting. They do say that specifically the Wild Draft Chocobo, Ceremony Chocobo, and an Amber Draft Chocobo can accommodate 2 riders while flying.
And it still looks like the wedding dress clips through the wedding Chocobo.
God damn it. It is now possible to ride mounts other than the personal Chocobo while your companion is summoned.
Thank you. Now I don't have to ride my Chocobo while I'm using it to levels. And it's just like... struggling to get everywhere.
Riding a mount will not dismiss your companion. Yes, because, I mean, Chocobos are not the most graceful flyers.
That's correct, Yuki. Izzy was wrong. I thought that was the case, that it didn't have the elemental ponies.
Yes, I was wrong. I apologize. I saw the... I lumped the Kirin mount in there with the elemental ponies.
That's not to say that they might not do something like that in the future, because...
What I understand, that was the plan. That they were supposed to fly. I guess it's just...
It's probably just Kirin for now.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, too, that the elemental ponies are just elemental ponies, where Kirin is a deity.
Yeah. And, to be honest, they've given us a lot of stuff that will fly in this one, so I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Hairstyles!
Yeah. So,
The two contest winners. I have to admit that male contest winner looks really nice.
It does.
It looks a lot better modeled than it did drawn, I think.
Yeah. And then the female one, which is an actual ponytail over the shoulder.
I don't like the hair clip. I don't like the hair clip.
Yeah, that's... Hopefully we'll get a version of this that doesn't have the hair tie.
No, that'll probably have the hair clip.
Well, maybe a different one? I don't know. And then, of course, we've got the fro. We've got the shortcut hair, which they only ever show on a Rogadin for some reason. I would like to see it on one of the other races. Another short... A bunch of short hairstyles. A couple of new long hairstyles for those of you who liked it. They look like they're even longer than the current ones.
I would like to see some long, straight hair.
Yeah, these ones are all sort of
They're all
wavy.
curly, I found.
And then,
That's not to say I don't like curly hair sometimes, but I would like some long, straight hair.
and a very short, very cute short cut hair for females.
Actually, it's both genders. I saw
Is it?
there was a male Makote sporting that one in one of the letters.
New emotes have been added.
Looks like there's a couple of dances, including what looks like a disco dance to go with the hairstyle. Which, to be frank, they did show that in the trailer. That was one of the things I noticed. That the Lalafell who had the fro was doing a disco
dance. That's awesome. Thank you so much. We needed this. We
now need somebody to put this to Saturday Night Live. Or Saturday Night Fever, sorry.
And though they don't show any pictures of it, 2 new poses accessed by the change pose command are now available when sitting on the floor. So we're going to have some new sit poses, which, thank you.
Lunavox is looking forward to the longer female hair dressing, or the longer female hair yet dressing it. I hope they fix the clipping, but I'm not remaining hopeful. I can understand that, and I've noticed that Square, when it comes to the hair, is more focused on, here's a cool hairstyle, and then not giving two craps about clipping. I can understand that there's a lot of frustration about that, and I get that, and I have that feeling too sometimes. But at the same time, there's a lot of coding to avoid clipping.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I've played other MMOs, and like for instance, the Old Republic, you have yarn for hair. A lot of other MMOs they just keep the hair above. They don't let you have hair that's below the shoulders, or always make sure it's a ponytail, or basically you have
or it's
long
made of
hair.
solid steel.
Yeah, it's your character puts their head down, the hair levers up. So the fact that our hair actually moves is a small miracle, because if anyone knows anything about 3D animation, knows hair is a nightmare. And Aethernet has been added to
Aethernet. An Aethernet has been added to Idleshire.
Why was an Aethernet added to Idleshire?
Probably for 1, to get exit quickly, and 2, because it's probably going to be expanding, like I've been saying.
In accordance with this change, the Goodly Adventure will no longer transfer players to different locations.
Yoshiro Drill Tales, please look forward to it.
So no longer will Rogadins and Sublagars hold the Goodly Adventure hostage.
Yuki, we can have Drill Tales when Booths McGee stops being killed by Yandere Dev. If you get that reference, props to you.
Players may ride mounts in Idleshire,
but not fly.
Mounts cannot fly in Idleshire.
You are grounded.
I can't see possibly how this could go wrong.
You are grounded, mister. No airborne in Idleshire for
Day of the patch, everyone finds out they can ride their mounts in Idleshire. There isn't any
Mordona again.
It's going to be another fat Chocobo Magitech Reaper war.
Hey, there was Mick Stronghuge, a.k.a. Denmo, his Link Shell on Excalibur, built a fat Chocobo bridge from one exit of Idleshire to the other.
I noticed that.
That was awesome.
Then we had the reenactment of the Great Gubu Wall from 1.0.
There was the Great Fat Chocobo Wall.
Well, actually, I think 1.0 was the Great Gubu Wall versus the Fat Chocobo Wall. Okay, and battle system. The following actions have been adjusted. By the way,
this first part was a couple of people commented on. So once we discuss this one, I'm gonna bring it up.
Before we start in there, I would just like to note from the notes that I've seen so far. Apparently, they've said that they're not going to be making much adjustments to Paladin. They said the issue is that it wasn't so much that there's a problem with Paladin needs to be adjusted. It's that the content doesn't suit Paladin, and so that the implication is that the content is going to be adjusted so that it's more suited to Paladin. In other words, lots of stuff that is heavy magic damage and required a lot of DPS output, which favored Dark Knights and Warriors. But there are some adjustments. Gladiator Paladin, Shield Swipe. It is now an ability and does not trigger the level cooldown. Recast time has been adjusted to 15 seconds. Potency has been reduced from 210 to 150. So those of you who used Shield Swipe for additional DPS, get shit on. I'm not real happy about that. Goring Blade, TP cost has been reduced from 60 to 50. That's a little bit better. Shield Bash, TP cost has been reduced from 150 to 120. Thank you!
The problem is this is not like this change is not going to change anything for Alex Savage Raiders.
No, we're still screwed with Alex Savage, and they've indicated they're not going to make any changes. The issue is simply that the content doesn't suit Paladins. So that
what that probably means is what they'll do is take when the next Savage comes out, they'll probably readjust the difficulty to have more neutral or more physical damage attacks, and maybe balance it out a little bit more. So like 50% will be neutral, and then 25% magic and 25% straight physical. So that way Paladin has more options for defending, and Dark Knight still would be about the same because they could block the magical better than the Paladin could, but they can't block the physical as well as the Paladin.
Right. The issue is that Paladins have always been the ones that have favored pure defense and pure physical defense, and the problem is they just didn't build the content in Heavensward to support that.
They still need to adjust Paladin, in my mind, to make Vitality the attack stat for a Paladin.
That would be wonderful. Although
because
I have to wonder if
the
that
DPS on a Paladin would be heavily booned by this, along with any of the tank classes, and then they'd be more likely to wear the Vitalities, which is the fending accessories, which is what they're supposed to be designed for, like what those accessories are designed for. And that means not only would their DPS be higher, but they'd have a larger HP pool to pull from.
Unfortunately, from what I understand, they've actually specifically addressed this and said that they're not going to do that.
I thought they were looking into something, but they haven't said anything yet.
Yeah. For right now, we'll have to see how it goes with 3.1. I suspect that they're going to try and, rather than adjust the job, because they don't want jobs to be too
I don't see them
samey.
doing very much, if any, adjustments to Savage. I think
they're not going to adjust the existing content. We're talking about the new content. Adjusting content, I'm afraid we're kind of screwed on. Fortunately, there's enough of a shortage of tanks that people will take Paladins. If that's all that's available, they'll just crumble about it a bit.
No, they won't. They won't. They'll just be like, "Yo, switch to Warrior or Dark Knight or don't come." That's what I've been seeing on a lot of raid grids lately.
Okay. And there's some adjustments for other jobs. Rogue / Ninja. Mutilate. TP cost has been reduced from 80 to 70. Good. Shadowfang. TP cost has been reduced from 70 to 60. Also good. Archer Bard. Heavy Shot. Timing in which the straight shots icon flashes while under the effect of straighter shot has been adjusted. I don't play Bard, so I don't know what that means, but you can tell us in the comments if that's good or bad.
I remember reading a tweet when I mentioned we were going to be doing this, and somebody said, Bard gets jack shit.
Straight shot. TP shot is reduced from 70 to 60. So, again, that's good, I guess. But
Astrologian! Royal Road. The effective Royal Road is no longer lost when leaving an area.
Again, I don't play Astrologian.
Claus says, I do play Bard. I don't even know what that means.
Well, we'll find out together.
In other words, Bard, guess what? You got dick shut all. You got dick fuck all.
Well, it seems that only these jobs got anything, and we didn't really get all that much.
Hey, I'm still waiting for them to change the one skill on Dark Knight, the one debuff on Dark Knight that's absolutely useless.
Fair enough.
There's that one Dark Knight skill which basically reduces enemy intelligence.
Yep.
If you're going into a raid group, you've got a monk.
Yep.
That monk does the monk's down is more potent than yours.
Yep. Yep. Well, it's about the only advantage Paladins have at this point.
Why not just make Dark Knight's ability, instead of intelligence down, magic attack down?
Yeah, that would be good.
Wouldn't change the fundamental thing about it, and you could stack with the monk. I mean, really, I'm going off with my hands because this makes no sense.
To accommodate various connection speeds and latencies, the ninja abilities Tenchi and Jin have been adjusted. Now, I actually have noticed this, that sometimes depending on how my connection is, it determines how fast I can actually do these.
I usually see people going like 1, 2, 3 with them. I'm assuming you can do them pretty fast as it is now.
Yeah, but the problem is that there is lag when you're entering it. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then it's like nothing, and all of a sudden your character goes 1, 2, 3. Or sometimes you can do them fast and it's responsive. Sometimes you do one, and then you do the next ones and there's no response, and then they go through. It's a little weird. it's such a thing that you're doing so often. You perceive that there's weirdness in there.
Fair enough.
It's the recast time, and sometimes it actually causes you to blow them because you do one. You think you think you've missed it, so you hit it again, and then you end up with a jackrabbit on your head. The recast time of abilities that do not trigger global cooldown cannot be reduced below 0.5 seconds through cooldown reducing abilities. I didn't realize that was a thing. The casting time of the ranged DPS PvP Adrenaline Rush ability, Terminal Velocity, has been reduced.
Yay, so now you can do that one skill that you like to spam at a distance faster and more often.
I don't PvP, so I don't know. You can tell us in the comments if you PvP. Is that good or bad?
I'm going to assume that it's good because it's making a skill that they can use more often.
It might be bad for the other people. The visual effect displayed while affected by Darkseid can now be disabled! Thank you! No more Dark Knights with red stuff.
No more Super Emo Aura?
No more Super Emo Aura.
Okay, good, thank God. I was getting sick of it. I turned it off on myself every time I'm not using it.
Yes, it's annoying as hell. The setting can be configured under Battle Effects Setting and Character tab of the Control Settings panel in the Character Configuration interface. So which means that you have to turn it off whether you want to see yourselves or other people's stuff. In keeping with the balance changes for certain dungeons and trials, the rate at which the limit break gauge fills has been adjusted as follows. Dungeons and trials accessible solo via the Duty Finder. The limit break gauge will no longer fill more slowly when multiple members of the same class job are in the party, so you're no longer taking a penalty for that.
Luna says, how will people know if she's dark and brooding now? And Klaus says, the terminal velocity was the PvP limit break. So it currently takes forever to cast, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Well, that's good then for PvP players. So I was right.
Well, I would recommend to replace your thing, you want to show that you're, quote a Linkin Park song in your character.
Crawling in my robes, these wounds require elixir?
Yes, something like that. Let's see, the limit break gauge number fill more slowly. Dungeons and trials requiring full party to register via the Duty Finder. The limit break gauge will fill more slowly than before for parties with 3 or more members of the same role. Class job roles are as follows. Tank, Gladiator, Marauder, Paladin, Warrior, Dark Knight. Melee DPS, Pugilist, Lancer, Rogue, Monk, Ninja, Dragoon, Ninja. Range DPS, Archer, Thaumaturge, Arcanist, Bard, Black Mage. You know the jobs. 3 more members of the same role.
So basically, if you're doing an 8-man content, you can only take 2 tanks, 2 melee DPS, 2 range DPS, and 2 healers. Otherwise, your limit break is going to go kaputs.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice way of saying, hey, look, we're only taking a monk and a ninja.
Yeah. Well, no, you can technically have... They do it by role rather than class. You could have 2 monks.
Welcome to raiding. Well, guess what? We'll be taking the monk and the ninja.
Yeah. Limit break descriptions will now provide information regarding their area of effect. Limit break. Spend energy storing the party limit gauge to execute a powerful battle technique. The technique.
Yay! They changed the description of limit break, so that way it actually looks like it.
Yeah.
It
Tank increased party defense. You'll never use this. They should just put tank. You will never use this. Melee single target attack. You will always use this. Range attack all targets in a straight line.
Only if melee is not available.
Only if melee is not available. Caster area of effect attack.
Only available if melee is not available.
Or if you have a large number of enemies to kill. Healer. You will only use this if things go completely tits up.
You will only use this if your tank is bad.
You only use the level 3 and only use this if everything has gone horribly wrong.
You'll only use the level 3 if your tank is bad.
Yeah. Adjustments have been made to reduce the probability of targets being determined as outside of the area of effective abilities used in certain situations.
Claus, this is the oh shit button.
The appearance of action indicators has been adjusted to more accurately display the area of effect for attacks. Okay. New dungeons have been added. Okay, here we go. We only have 2 new dungeons.
Well, technically 2 4-man dungeons.
2 new 4-man dungeons. One of them is a completely brand new one. One of them is a redo of an existing one. First one is Saint Mosian's Arboretum, which is Armvale 2.0. And you get the quest of Overgrown Ambition.
Bees.
Speak with the NPC Tetchy Treasure Hunter. I love the terminology.
Bees.
And then you have Pharaoh Sirius Hard, which we also saw in the video, which looks like you actually start from the top down, and you have to basically kick a bunch of kobolds out.
Can we go back to the bees?
No.
But bees.
No.
Bees.
You're not going to be off the bees all of 3.1. I'm not going to be able to get you away from the bees until 3.15.
It took, look, 2.1, or was it 2.1? No, it was 2.2 when we first got bears. Okay?
You have still not gotten off the bears. Give me a few more days of peace before you start in on the bees, okay?
But the bears and the bees.
Okay, that's going to be your new macro now. I know it. God damn it.
No.
Let me tell you about the bears and the bees.
Alright, moving on.
Just throw Winnie the Pooh reference in there, and then your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
Oh, bother.
The Minstrel's Ballad, Thornton's Reign. This is the Singularity Reactor hard mode. Level requirement for this one is 60, of course. Average item level of 190 or above.
That's not bad, considering it's supposed to be very difficult.
Right. I'm guessing you'll probably want as high as you can possibly get on this one.
Because this is a minimum eye level, so
yeah.
You're probably looking at people who are either in full SOs or SOs in raid gear.
This is basically where this is the version of the fight done by the Minstrel where Thornton is as badass as he thought he was. So, yeah. This one is probably going to drive people crazy for a bit.
I give the rated community 48 hours at most. Actually, you know what?
Rating community.
That's being exceptionally generous. I'm going to say that Lucrezia, and this I'm putting my money down on this now. I'm going to say Lucrezia is going to have it within 12 hours.
Fair enough. I mean, it's like they'll have.
Do you have any bets?
Not really. I don't know much about the rating community, honestly. Now, the adjustment of the quest to Limitless Blue Extreme and Thok Extreme, which is basically Bismarck and Ravana, respectively, have been adjusted as follows. Players may now queue solo via the Duty Finder. There you go. You can now enjoy the wonders of a completely random pug. Minimum item level has been applied to these duties. So
that's pretty much standard for the course for when they add something to the Duty Finder, though. Yep, which is normal. Which also means you're not going to get people in there who are I-140 going, "Hi guys, I just hit level 60." The Echo will now take effect in these following duties. Standard issue with 25% being the max, 5% for each wipe. You have to be participating in battle for at least 3 minutes.
Yep. Okay.
Which is really not going to be that hard to do in
actually,
Bismarck.
no. Thok. Each stack of the Echo will raise attributes by 10% up to a maximum of 50%.
Those are the hard modes.
Well, for the hard modes. Okay,
yeah, the
sorry.
extremes are 25.
You're right, okay. Items that drop directly from boss enemies will now drop from treasure boxes in the following duties.
That makes... These are the old extremes, and that makes sense considering the ponies.
Yeah.
I think it was the ponies that dropped from that. Either way, the items that do drop from them, if you're unsynced, which would make them a lot easier to farm, they wouldn't drop those items.
Yeah.
So, no, it was stuff like Titan's Heart and stuff like that. So now they'll appear in the chest instead.
The Alliance Raid Dungeon, the Void Arc, has been added. This is the one that I've been waiting for.
Claus is like, unsynced Moogle Farm! Kupo!
Okay, so, item level requirement for that is item level 175 or above, which is moderate. I mean, you'll basically be able to, once you've got most of your Lodestone gear, you'll be able to do it. Party size is 24 players, 3 parties of 8. Time limit is 120 minutes. This is basically the next step of Crystal Tower. Enter requirements. You must complete the quest to rule the skies.
And look, Sky Pirates is the quest for that. So yes, Sky Pirates is involved.
With it's confirmed, Sky Pirates have to do with the... so, we're basically doing Sky Pirate Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yarr!
Confirmed. Okay.
I'm both there on the Sky Pirate.
Party role requirements. Parties match automatically via the Duty Finder will comprise 1 tank, 2 healers, and 5 DPS, because we found the 2 tank thing was really dumb. Parties
Sweet, I don't have to compete against people for gear.
Parties formed prior to registration must also meet these role requirements. However, these role requirements are not required when registering as an alliance. So basically, if you want to take in a different mix, you register as an alliance, and you can have the other 2 alliances hating you.
The problem is, that's not the case. The problem with that is for an alliance, you actually have to have the full alliance.
That's true. You have to have full.
You have to have the
players.
full 24 people, and then you can go with whatever you want.
Right.
And Luna, I agree with you 100%. It's not the goddamn Alligans this time.
Rewards.
I'm not putting it past Square Enix to throw Alligans in there somewhere, though. I would not be surprised if, the whole... This Void Arc is really here because the Alligans influenced us to bring it up here.
We need like a picture of someone from the development team.
Oh no!
It looks like they're on drugs, just going. Alligans.
Someone took the aliens meme and put Alligans.
Yes. Okay. Party role requirement. Rewards, and it's a standard. You only receive one reward item per week for completing duties in the Void Arc.
Mm-hmm.
In the event you are awarded an item from the loot list, you relinquish your right to vie for all remaining items, regardless of whether you select
standard for the course.
If time expires and reward item is obtained automatically, this will also count towards the weekly limit.
So, in other words, let's say you don't loot up. This falls into the whole, hey, you didn't roll on it, it fell to you, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So if you're going in, keep an eye on your loot pool.
They actually changed that in the Crystal Tower. It looks like they'd gone back to that method because you used to have people who would just sit on the timer for an excessive period of time. I'm guessing this is probably to discourage that.
Most likely. At least until they can come up with something properly to deal with something like that. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Because they can't have it so that way people can kick people while loot's in the pool. Because then people will be like, oh, well, I'm just going to vote kick this person out so I get the gear. Yeah.
Each party in the Alliance will receive its own treasure chest, the contents of which will be identical regardless of the route taken. Completion reward. Regardless of the route taken. So it sounds like there's actually going to be multiple routes to take through this, which will be interesting. We'll only ever see one of them because one of them will become the favorite and one of them will be the others.
Screw you. I'm planning on doing all of them. And I'm going to just be like, okay.
I'm going this way now. I'm a tank. I can make you do this.
Yep, pretty much.
Actually, it's probably going to be a case of where you have to split the three parties.
I'm just looking at it like this. I'm a tank. We're going this way.
Healers,
you can follow me. DPS, you can follow me. Or you can go that way and tank on your own.
Upon completing the Void Arc, players can also earn a separate reward once per week. This reward can be exchanged with Bertana in Adelshire for items used to enhance equipment purchased with Algan Tomestones of Esoterics. So here is your upgrade item for your Esoterics armor and weapons. I can imagine it'll either cost multiple tomes or multiple tokens for certain pieces, or it's going to start with accessories first for options, then going on to body pieces, then going on to weapons. I don't see them allowing us to upgrade, say, our weapons within the first week of this. Yeah, probably not. We'll have to see how it goes. The following items will now appear in the treasure chest of each party in an alliance when undertaking Circus Tower or the World of Darkness. Wind Up, Unite, Puff of Darkness. So now you have a guaranteed 100% chance of this minion dropping every single run, and you're only competing against 7 other players instead of 23. So, yeah, if you want these ones, now it's time to go after them. I wasted so many runs getting those. Yeah. I still don't have them. Hey, now's your chance. Now's my chance. The following items will now appear in the treasure chest that appears after defeating the Cloud of Darkness. Encrypted Tomestone, Carbon Coat, Carbon Twine. So upgrade items for the I-130 gear? Right, which means you don't have to do... the 120 to 130. You don't have to go through the whole labyrinth of the Garland Ironworks gear. Yeah. Okay. The weekly restrictions on rewards in Alexander Gordius have been removed. But not Savage! This change does not apply to Alexander Gordius Savage. Exploratory missions have been added. Okay, this is what you've all been working on your airships. You have been working on your airships, right? No, I see you there. You have not been working on your airship. Hey, look, you can't fault that guy, okay? They don't have a free company house because some jerk is, like, not logging into the game anymore. Okay, seriously, it's not their fault. We have been working on our airship. And by that, I mean Mia's been working on the airship, and we've kind of been watching. I've spent almost $500,000 free company, or not free company, Grand Company credits on Coke for those airships. So you cannot say that I have not done my part. Okay. So I have snorted more Coke than there is room on the market boards. Okay, so Mia's been taking care of it, and now we need to get Chris here's some professional help. Okay, so enter requirements. You must be a disciple of War Magic, level 60. Your average item level needs to be 179 or above. So,
I'm assuming that's for combat classes. I don't know what the average item level for level 60 gatherers and crafters are at the moment.
Yeah, that I don't know. Party size, entering via company workshops, 2 to 24, 3 parties of 8. So you can go in there with a full alliance. Entering via Ishgard's Landing, you can only go in with a party of 1 to 8. So it looks like if you do not have your own airship, you can go via Ishgard and get in there with your own party.
But you can't go with alliance.
But if you want to go with a full alliance, you got to go through your free company or your own personal house.
Or you can go with another free company so long as you have a free company house.
Yeah.
If you do not have a free company house, you cannot participate in another free company's alliance exploration.
Time limit is 90 minutes. Prerequisites. Players must have completed the main scenario quest, Heavensward.
Right.
Disciples of the Land are not required to be level 60, so the average item level is not going to apply either. Please note that while players may enter the diadem as an alliance, upon entering the group will not be treated as an alliance, but as 3 separate parties. So that's basically just for the ride over. So you're basically, buddying up, and that's basically just your seat assignments.
Basically, you can use this area to explore for hidden treasure coffers, slay creatures, gather rare items. This is basically open world endgame, so to speak.
Okay. Players can participating. Players can the free company work from the airship landing in Ishgard. Free company exploratory missions. When undertaking exploratory missions using a free company airship, players must form a party of at least 2 people.
Claus has got a good point. Going in from the free company means you're guaranteed your alliance will be in the same instance.
Yeah. Players can also form an alliance of up to 24 players. There are no role requirements for entering the diadem as an alliance. Each party or alliance member must have a tank of mission ceruleum in their possession, which can be purchased in exchange for company credits.
So I was right, that's what it's for.
Yeah, 1 tank is required for each mission. When entering as a single party, the party leader must be a member of the free company whose airship will be used. All participating players must be inside the free company workshop when undertaking exploratory missions. When entering as an alliance, the leader of each party must be a member of the free company whose airship is to be used. Furthermore, an airship for each part of the alliance is required. So if you want to take a full alliance, you need 3 airships.
And they all have to be the rank high enough to get to that area, because remember, the hard mode areas, your airship has to be rank 50.
Right. Upon undertaking an exploratory mission, the airship used must wait 20 minutes from the time you began before it can be used for exploratory voyages. So it basically takes you out there. You're going to have to wait a bit before you can send it out for getting gubs.
Yeah, think of it like the 20-minute time period is the time it takes for you to get the airship to take you there and for it to get back.
For it to take you there, abandon you there, and then head home. Ishgardian exploratory missions. Players can also journey to the diadem via Ishgardian airships. Players can undertake Ishgardian exploratory missions solo or in a party of up to 8 people. So if you want to explore it by yourself, you can. Each player of the party must have a mission ceruleum voucher in their possession, which can be purchased from the NPC Jacqueline in the pillars for Gil. Not 1 Gil, 4 Gil. 1 voucher is required for each mission. There are no role requirements when entering as a full party. However, parties with less than 8 players must adhere to the standard composition of 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 4 DPS. Okay. Players cannot dismiss or add party members while undertaking exploratory missions. Before undertaking an exploratory mission, whether by company workshops or the airships landing in Ishgard, at least 2 hours must have elapsed since the last entry diadem.
So basically, if you're in there for the full time period of an hour and a half,
you have to wait half an hour before you can go back in.
Yeah, so it's not that bad when you think about it. The really long period is if you go in, you die immediately, and then you have to wait the almost 2 hours.
It's basically it's a cooldown. It almost reminds me a little bit of like
a really short Dynamis.
Yeah, a really short Dynamis. When undertaking well, I don't know, depending on how bad you were at Dynamis could be way less than 90 minutes. When undertaking exploratory missions via a free company workshop or with a full party via Ishgard, parties may set loot rules to normal, greed only, or loot master. When undertaking exploratory missions via Ishgard with less than 8 players, the loot rules will be set to greed only.
There are also 3 difficulty tiers. 3. 2 of them, easy and normal, are going to be available from both free companies and the Ishgardian airship. Hard mode is only available if you have a free company airship.
Changing class and jobs. After entering the diadem, players can freely change between classes and jobs when out of combat. So basically, you enter in as your combat class, then you can switch to your gatherer and go mine or whatever one of your friends die. Treasure coffers. Players may sometimes find gear inside treasure coffers after defeating enemies. So this actually sort of reminds me of that gimmick they used to have in... I think it was actually 11, wasn't it? Where you would sometimes get a treasure chest if you defeated enemies? Or was it 4?
Yeah, that was something that was added much later, though.
Yeah. This gear is unique in that its appearance and parameters are assigned at random. Okay,
I am still waiting, and I will laugh, and I'm looking forward to somebody posting me a screenshot of mage gear with tank stats.
Only treasure coffers discovered by your party will appear on the field. In the event that there are 8 unopened treasure coffers on the field and a 9th is discovered, the first treasure coffer will disappear. If the contents of 8 treasure coffers are in the loot list and a 9th treasure coffer is discovered, the contents of the first treasure coffer will be distributed to the party automatically.
Luna Box. Chocobo fits as far as the eye can see.
Brass Sky Pirate Spoils. Unwanted gear obtained from the treasure coffers can be exchanged for brass Sky Pirate Spoils by speaking with the spoils trader in the pillars. These brass Sky Pirate Spoils can then be used to purchase goods from the spoils collector. So even if you do get really bizarre stuff, you can always turn it in to get something for it.
Basically, the equivalent of when you run those regular dungeons, you get that garbage gear that nobody wants, and you turn it in for Grand Company sales.
Yeah. Steel Sky Pirate Spoils. Disciples of the Land can gather Steel Sky Pirate Spoils in the diadem. These can be redeemed for a variety of goods by speaking to the spoils collector. Other rewards. By completing a certain number of objectives listed for a given mission, the players will receive other rewards, including elegant tomestones. Flying mounts. By tuning to the aether turbulences found inside the diadem, players can use their mounts to fly.
I think it only takes, they said, 5-10 minutes to do that. And every time you land, you're going to be on a different island.
So you're going to have to do it each time.
Yeah.
Please note that your attunement to these currents will be lost upon leaving the diadem, and you must attune to them again should you return. So
that's why they're only 5-10 minutes to do.
Enemies. The icon next to enemy names is an indication of their relative strength.
Yeah. Then there's also the field objectives. You explore. You may encounter constructs with various effects. Proper use of these will be essential for missions. I'm assuming they're going to be much more dire usage for the hard modes rather than the normal ones.
Within the diadem, there are small settlements with merchants who can offer the following services: gear repair, exchange of unwanted gear for brass Sky Pirate Spoils, sale of goods for brass and steel Sky Pirate Spoils, weather forecast for islands in the diadem.
That could be interesting, and I would see that the weather forecast would be more so probably for the if anyone's doing any sky fishing.
Gear will be spirit bonding at an increased rate in the diadem in comparison to other duties. The increased spirit bond gain does not apply to crafting or gathering. Now this, I can actually see. No, this I can actually see being important because they were saying that they're going to start releasing raid gear that has materia slots.
Yeah, but gathering materia and crafting materia is already ridiculously difficult to make.
That's true. That's true, and that isn't worth it. Finishing exploratory missions. When the time has expired or you choose to end an exploratory mission early, you can view a list of completed objectives. Experience points earned in the following dungeons has been increased: the Dusk Vigil, Somal, the Eyrie, the Vault, the Great Gooball Library, to make it a little less painful to get from 50 to 60.
For that second job, because let's face it,
or
you
third,
go through,
or fourth.
The point is, you get your first one through mostly with quests. The second one is a grind.
Experience points earned. Parameters of enemies and mechanics in the following dungeons and trials have been adjusted.
And there's a crap ton of dungeons listed there.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Same with enemies in the following dungeons now yield experience points when playing a class or job at level 50 or above, and that's all the level 50 dungeons.
So
all of them.
So now you can get experience for doing that again.
I imagine it's going to be piss poor experience, but it's experience nonetheless.
Experience, yeah. Number of PvP experience points earned from Frontline has been increased as follows. We don't care.
Hey, some people care. So first place, instead of 400, is 600. Second place goes from 300 to 450, and third place goes from 200 to 300. So that means for new people, we'll be able to rank up faster because of the better-looking PvP gear is a higher rank.
Right, you have to be higher rank to get it. To accommodate differences in player gear and overall dungeon difficulty, item level sync has been added to the following duties: the Great Gooball Library.
Item sync
you're
150.
synced to 150. Alright, and pets will no longer enter combat when receiving damage from environmental hazards and certain duties. What? Oh, yeah, it's because your Chocobo, specifically your Chocobo or your Carbuncle or whatever would aggro if they receive damage from environmental hazards. Certain enfeebling effects can now be applied to objects and certain duties. Okay. You need to put Shadowbind on that rock there before we break it, otherwise it'll get away. Dungeons and Trials added in patch 3.1 have been added to the Duty Finder. Yeah, that's standard. Duty Roulette High Level has been renamed to Duty Roulette Level 50 Dungeons. Duty Roulette Level 60 Dungeons has been added to the Duty Finder and will include the following dungeons: Never Reap and the Fractal Continuum.
Ooh.
Yes. The duties listed within the Duty Finder have been reorganized as followed. Duty Roulette Expert, Never Reap Fractal Continuum. Before, now it's Saint Mosien's Arboretum and Ferocerius Hard. The amount of PvP experience points gained from Duty Roulette Frontline has been increased from 400 to 600. The matching algorithm for Duty Roulette has been adjusted to reduce wait times. If other... is there a wait time? I've never had to do a wait time.
There's wait times I've noticed here and there. Specifically as it gets more and more towards the end of the lull here. The wait times are getting pretty bad. So I imagine that this is to help alleviate some of that, because at certain times of day I can imagine that it gets pretty bad.
Yeah. Unless you're a tank. The other part
even as a tank. There's been times where I have sat in queue for Bismarck hard mode for 35-40 minutes.
That's because no one wants to do Bismarck hard mode.
Yeah, but the whole Trials roulette.
That's true. If other party members choose to leave a duty while the add member feature is activated, the feature will be suspended automatically. Upon completing a duty using the undersized party option, the log will now display how much time has elapsed since the duty commenced. Display text for obtaining loot from instances has been adjusted in order to improve visibility. When entering duty already in progress, the display will be changed from the current progression in the duty to the time elapsed since the commencement of the duty. The number of Algan Tombstones obtained from the following dungeons has been adjusted. The Therochemical Research Facility. Before it was 100 Algan Tombstones of Law, now it's 120 Algan Tombstones of Law.
Never Reap has gone from 80 and 40 to 130.
Oh.
Fractal's gone from 80 and 40 to 130.
So no one's going to want to do it now.
No, it's reducing the esoterics by 10 and increasing the law by 20.
So people do the new stuff.
Exactly. That's all it is. It's motivation to do the newer dungeons instead.
Players can now exchange Algan Tombstones of Law for the following items: Purified Coke, Resin Coat, Dryad Sap, Moonbeam Silk, Odorless Animal Fat, Sky Spring Water, and A Night to Remember, which is a wall-mounted item.
And we all know who that is.
We do.
It's spelled with a K. You should know. A Night to Remember.
Oh, right. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, Archifant. I'm sorry.
Wear the cat of shame.
Players can now exchange Algan Tombstones of Poetics for the following items: Encrypted Tombstones, Carbon Twine, and Carbon Coat. Yay, if you need to get some of that stuff. That's actually good for people who want it for glamours and stuff.
Some of it does look really nice.
Yeah, and you need to upgrade it if you want to color it. The number of Algan Tombstones of Poetics required for the following items has been reduced: Shields, Hands, Heads, Feet, Body, Legs, Waist, Accessories, Rowena's Token, Tombstones of Poetics, and Rowena's Token, Soldiery. So yeah, they made that gear cheaper so that you can you can get that stuff easily. So if you got like that load of like almost 2,000 Tombstones of Poetics like me, now you can actually get some glamour gear. Zodiac weapons have been adjusted as follows. Items needed to complete each of the Zodiac weapon sides quests listed below will now be awarded to players every time they clear the required dungeon. So you're not going to have to be running those dungeons over and over and over and over and over again. The rate at which weapons gain Soul Attunement and Soul Resonance has been increased for certain duties. Soul Attunement and Soul Resonance levels will now increase even if players complete duties with an undersized party.
Alice has got a point. For Rowena's older stuff, everything must go. Sail, sail, sail.
Yeah. The following changes have been made to hunts. Centurial Seal's cap has been increased from 500 to 1,000, which is great because...
You know what that means? They're going to be adding in...
new stuff. I really, really hope they are.
I'm not so much concerned with them adding in new stuff, but they're probably going to add upgrade items to shit in order to, hunt spam!
Yeah. Well, there's not a whole lot of reason to do the hunts right now because you can buy the upgrade items with Lodestone. The number of Centurial Seals granted upon defeating elite marks in non-3.0 areas has been increased as followed. A rank increased from 15 to 20, and S rank increased from 35 to 50. I didn't realize you got Centurial Seals for defeating elite marks in non-3.0 areas. The HP for A rank elite marks in 3.0 areas has been increased. Centurial Seals can now be exchanged for the following item. Clan Mark Log. I don't know what that's for.
Clan Mark Logs obtained from hunts can be exchanged to Bertha and Idleshire for... Look at that!
Illuminated Gobtwine, Carbon Coat, and Wyvern Horn.
I called it.
And those are the
Expect
upgrades.
hunts to go crazy again.
Yeah, the number of valid seeds required for exchanging certain items has been adjusted.
At least I will say this. At least they made it so that way it's feasible for people who don't want to do the hunt spam to get these in a relatively normal pace.
Yeah, they have multiple ways to get all this stuff, so no one is really locked out. Basically, whichever way you prefer to do it, you can do it. And 500 for one of these items is not excessive. You just do your
It's like you could do that in like 2 days.
Yeah,
2 or 3 days.
I should know because I've been getting the upgrade items for the upgrade items are about 350, something like that for most items, and I've gone through and I've upgraded like 3 jobs worth of Lodestone gear.
So, like I said, like a couple days.
Yeah.
New items have been added. New recipes have been added. We're not going to go over all of those. There's all.
There is one that people are interested in, which is called the Emperor's New Fist. Which
monks, be happy!
Yeah.
Finally, instead of punching things with weapons that look like they should break or bend or twist every time you punch something, now you can punch like a real monk with your fist.
Yep.
Punch.
Okay. The following item for concealing appearance. Yeah. Okay. Following items can now be dyed, so it's a bunch of the
Dream Hat, and it's a whole bunch of the
event stuff. Prerequisites to obtain
fake mustache can be dyed.
mustache.
You are so gonna do that pink and run around and be like, I'm Markiplier.
I don't have the false mustache though.
You don't have the. Why don't you have the false mustache?
Because I don't have it. Why
don't you? That was one of the key things you got from doing Starlight Festival last year.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Following items can now be stored in the armoire. Gubu earring, witch's hat, witch's coatee, witch's gloves, witch's thigh boots. Yes, I get it. The following changes have been made to the armoire. Items from seasonal events can now be stored in the armoire immediately after being obtained.
Thank you!
The category for the following items has been changed from seasonal event garb to a special item other. Blaze Fire Saber, Mega Knuckles, a lot of the weapons from the Lightning event.
Slime King Crown, Guardian Core, like special events that are not seasonal are being put in here.
Yeah, which is good because we have a special crossover event coming up.
For Final Fantasy XI.
For Final Fantasy XI, Vanadiel is returning to Eorzea, and I'm hoping that I can basically sneak over there and tuck Bastock under my arm and bring it back. I got a nice little plot in Southern Fanland to set them up at. They'll be much happier their new home. They can show off their guns to the
tradable versions of dies have now been added for all those ones that were untradable before.
The new tradable versions will have a different name, which means those of you who have the untradable versions, they're still not going to be tradable. You're just going to get new ones that are tradable, so you might as well use them.
Use them while you got them.
Yeah. The following items, my guess is they're probably going to keep the untradable ones as rewards that you get from your retainers, and then the tradable ones will be ones that you can actually get through other means. The following items have been added to the inventory of Calamity Salvages in all city-states. Custom-made shirt, custom-made tunic.
A lot of the custom stuff, the Manderville stuff, Southern Sea stuff. But to get the Mandeville stuff and the Southern Sea stuff and the custom stuff, you have to complete the appropriate quest that gets them.
Right. So if you've got that stuff and you want to get rid of it, or you want, like, for instance, of the Southern Sea stuff, a lot of people use that as glamour stuff, and they might want...
I still don't understand why I can't just store the Manderville tops and bottoms.
Neither do I. New crafting components have been added to the Rowena House of Splendors. The number of Red Gatherer scripts obtained from blah, blah, blah. That's Red Gatherer scripts.
The number of Red Gatherer scripts obtained from Arena's House of Splendors has been increased. So all those people complaining about red scripts, this will make it easier.
Yeah. The number of items received when trading with the Splendors vendor in Eagleshire have been increased.
They all looks like they've all been increased by a factor of 3. So... Purified Coke, as an example, goes from 5 to 15. Sky Spring Water goes from 3 to 9. So, yeah, multiple of 3, actually.
The number of Red Crafters scripts required for the following high-quality items available in exchange from the Splendors vendor in Eagleshire has been reduced. They've
gone from 3 to 1.
So that should make things a little bit easier for you guys.
Yep.
A warning message will not display when exchanging currency other than gil for items that cannot be equipped by the player's current job. So there already been some implementation of this where you try and go and buy something with law tomes and it would say
you're not the right job for this. Are you sure you still want it?
You can't equip this. Now it's basically, I guess, they're going to expand that. The icon for certain Weaver primary tools has been adjusted. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Master Recipe book.
The difficulty of acquiring Master Recipe books available in 3.0 has been alleviated.
Which is good, because those were insanely hard to get. The categories for special recipe sections of the crafting log have been adjusted. Housing 1, Housing 2. Housing 2 will retain recipes for furnishings and housing. Housing 1 will contain housing-related recipes for items which are not furnishings. Which I guess means walls and stuff.
Recipes requiring specialist crafters will be grayed out when the corresponding soul crystal is not equipped. So basically, unless you have your soul crystal equipped, you cannot craft certain items.
And it will tell you which ones they are. Okay, speak with Alderon and the Pillars to receive Soul of the Crafter. A number of recipes now available for quick synthesis. The requirements for unlocking quick synthesis will be written in the crafter's log. It will be possible to use quick synthesis for recipes which have no completion record, even if the player has never crafted it. The following quest duties and exchanges will now display the Master Recipe book or tome folklore required for their completion.
Class quests, supply and provision missions, temple leads, trade class leads, splendors. I think we're getting down to the point where there's not too much left to discuss on this.
It's just there's a bunch of minutia here. It's a lot of crafting stuff.
Item desynthesis. New minions have been added.
New minions have been added. So it's actually loaded this time. Okay, new minions have been added. There is a penguin and oh my god, kill it with fire.
No, we are not killing that with fire. You have to say what that is.
You know those...
It's a cute passia.
It's a passia. I'll give you that. It's a passia.
It's a space passia.
It's looking into my soul.
That's why it's a space passia.
It's horrifying.
See, look at Luna agrees. Not my baby passia.
New mounts have been added. There is now what looks like a Pegasus.
Yes, we are getting a Pegasus mount. We're also getting a Wyvern mount.
Yay. New Chocobo barding has been added.
Thornton armor Chocobo barding.
Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Okay, a new idling camera feature has been added for players to take pictures of their characters and scenery from various angles. The idling camera works as a fixed camera point which cycles randomly through the vantage points of other characters and NPCs in the vicinity of the player character.
Now, what I'm saying for this, which would make it great, is this camera idea is perfect for people who want to do machinimas.
Yes, it is. To turn on the idling camera, use keybind or text command idling camera or ICAM. To cancel, press the A or X button or the escape key. Depth of field will be enabled when using the idling camera feature. A new group pose feature has been added to allow player characters to synchronize a pose with their party members. Hey, Denmo, this one's for you.
Yeah,
This one's
probably.
definitely free.
This is definitely built with Denmo in mind.
Yep. How to use group pose. Use the group pose feature. Use the keybind or text command group pose or G pose to cancel and press the X or A buttons. It's also possible to reset the emote used for the group pose or using the sit emote to stand up and sit down. Okay, so this means that anyone in the group can make everyone pose. So if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden your entire party is going to break out into the Manderville. And I guarantee that this is going to happen because I'm going to make it happen.
There are new titles being added, a couple of new achievements, duties. A lot of the 8-man duties that were not actually counted towards the full party achievements are now actually counting, like a lot of the extremes and stuff. Final Coils, Alexander.
This is for following duties count towards high-level full party duty achievements. This includes the tanking ones.
I'm assuming that's all they're referring to on those, because I don't think there's anything else that gives you a benefit for that.
Which would make it a lot easier to get your lion or bear mounts, or the coral that
Torama.
The Torama, sorry, the Torama is not just a coral; it's special. It's black.
There have been adjustments to the retainer adventures, basically new Highland adventures, new botany and mining adventures. More stuff added to quick exploration, which is basically all the garbage gear and garbage items from 3.0, which means they're more likely to bring you back garbage. Rare dies that were obtained from quick exploration have been made tradable, so yeah, I'm assuming then they're just phasing out the old dies.
Okay.
Experience points rewarded to attainers above level 51 for quick exploration has been adjusted. The experience points parameters for retainers will still be displayed in the attribute windows when the cap reaches level when they are just about level 60.
Okay, new one for glamours. Players will now be able to use glamours for equipment that occupies multiple slots. Example: applying the glamour of an item that occupies both the body and head slots. Like, for instance, you had an antiquated Creed Curious, and you wanted to look like a linen cowl because I guess you wanted to take that oath of poverty seriously.
Look, just because you took an oath of poverty in an old D&D game does not mean everybody does. That is the most ridiculous and stupid flaw that any paladin could take.
Yeah, and so anyway, you can basically make it look like you're wearing the cowl, and at which point your head slot will not show up. The following changes have been made to the gear preview subcommand. Try-on subcommand can now display multiple pieces of equipment equipped at the same time. A button has been added to the try-on subcommand, which allows the player to save or delete an outfit appearance. So if you wanted to save it to look at later, like for instance, you saw someone had something really nice, you wanted to grab it, and then you wanted to save it, and then go to the market board and find some other stuff to add to it to see how they look with it, you can now save that. And then
instead of having to screenshot it on the run.
And then instead of having to screenshot it on the run and try to have to mentally piece it together. So this will help you, people who are trying to piece together your outfits, to find, that one perfect combination. When you're using the try-on command subcommand to preview a shield, players can now view the shield with a draw sheath ability. Thank you!
I mean, it doesn't affect me, but it affects you.
Yeah. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the character window in the main menu. An Acquired Titles button has been added to the Profile tab under the character in the main menu. The window displays the achievement and categories that the titles were obtained from. Okay.
These tribe-related sections under the Reputation and Character menu has been divided into a drop-down menus for Realm Reborn and Heavensward. So this way, if they add more beast tribes to Heavensward, the Heavensward beast tribes will be separate from the Realm Reborn ones.
Right. A Lord of Verminion tab has been added to the Gold Saucer under the Character main menu. The tab will display information about the player's rating, tournament date, time, and tournament results.
No, that's good. That's going to be useful. The following adjustments have been made to the recommendations window found in the Duty Finder. The number of categories displayed in the pull-down has been increased from 5 to 10. Level 1, 2, and 3 clan mark bill targets and 3-point areas have been added. Timers window in the main menu has been split into 2 tabs, individual and estate. Flying Minion Mount Roulette has been added, enabling players to summon a flying mount at random from among the ones that they own. Players can now select which die to use in their possession if they possess 2 dies sharing the same color in the die window.
So that if you want to use a general purpose pure white die or the untradeable one, you can select to choose the untradeable one so that you don't end up burning the actual tradable ones and get stuck with a bunch of untradeable versions.
The color display for non-targetable objects has been adjusted in the party list, focus target bar, and the enemy list. Following changes and additions have been made to the map. A hold button has been added, which locks the map in position. Finally, when the map is locked, it will not close when the escape key or the A/X buttons are pressed. When using the gamepad, the map will still display when the command submenus are opened and closed. Quest icons for the initial Dark Knight, Machinist, and Astrologian's quest will now display on the map.
Thank you.
The names of the Ethernet locations will display when mousing over them. Markers for NPCs, such as the lift attendant who move players between zones, will now display on the map.
That will make navigation much easier.
The order of the areas displayed on the toggle map has been adjusted. The following changes have been made to the minimap. When the markers for party member maps of links outside the minimap's display area, the distraction marker will now display that. And the color of the map link markers has been changed to improve visibility. And changes have been made to Party Finder. A whole bunch of stuff has been added, like dungeons, trials, raids, fates, exploratory missions.
Yeah, it's all the stuff we've already gone over. Following messages no longer display during cutscenes. Messages displayed upon the completion of a retainer venture, and messages displayed when an item sells on the market board. So if you're trying to if you're trying to record a cutscene and with fraps or something, and then you also have the pop-up that says your retainer completed a venture, and then you want to throw a rock through your
or weddings. Those are fucking notorious for that. They're fucking notorious for that. It's like, beautiful wedding, beautiful scene. Suddenly, hey, look, your retainer finished selling those stack of ores. You want to get that money now? No? Is this a bad time? Okay.
Okay, players can use the following actions while riding a mount. Triangulate, through the forest, prospect. So basically, gatherers can use their abilities to find things while they're mounting.
It's better than like Through the Forests, Through the Mountains, and stuff like that. Being able to turn it on without having to get off your Chocobo, turn it on, and then
jump back on
your Chocobo, and then triangulate.
Players can now use the target forward and target back general actions while riding mounts. Players can now use waymarks while riding mounts. The copy item name subcommand has been added to the items in the craft one. I don't even know.
It seems like a lot of just technical stuff that's been added.
Okay, adjustments in camera, whatever. Control settings. Okay.
New options available in the system configuration interface. New options, the keybinds.
Yeah.
New commands.
I recommend you guys all check this out if that stuff there's something that you're looking for specifically. But
there's the name of the 3 dances. Let's take a look at the 3 dance names.
Okay.
Thav Dance, Gold Dance, and Sun Dance. I'm going to assume Gold Dance is probably the disco one.
Probably the disco. Sun Dance is probably the venue.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because they're always talking about weather in their speech. It's always metaphor for weather. Okay, new phrases add the auto-translate.
Curb bar MT activities. The number of friend requests the player can send per day has been limited to 5.
Don't make too many friends.
New music has been added. Any character becomes unavailable due to change in subscription or any other reason. Information such as their appearance and level will not display. Opening cinematic is now skippable when starting a game for the first time.
Yay. I played page explaining one-time password has been added to the... Yeah, whatever. Following adjustments have been made to the Mac version. We don't care. Okay, good. So that's it. There is a lot of stuff in this patch. There is a lot of stuff.
And this is just the preliminary notes. We're going to have more concise notes later.
Yes, there is a lot of stuff in the patch.
Okay, so everybody who's in the chat still right now,
Yeah.
from all these notes, what excites you the most, and what leaves you the blah the most? To be perfectly frank, there is a lot of stuff that is exciting me, but there is a couple of points there in that I kind of zoned out.
There's some very dry stuff in there. There's a lot of minutia and stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff that
like,
is
I'm really not
interesting.
looking forward to the hunt stuff.
Well, but there's probably interesting. There's a lot of stuff there for everyone, which means there's a lot of stuff in there that isn't going to interest a lot of people.
Lunavox, Turkey hat is true end game.
I guess it is.
Luna, I want to see that hat on you in day one.
Yes.
I want to see a screenshot on your Twitter on Tuesday with you wearing that hat.
Somewhere where flying is enabled, so I can dive bomb you and everything.
Klaus says that he's excited for Skynimus, but is mad that Relic was moved to 3.15.
Yeah, that is kind of annoying, because by the time...
The thing I'm looking at, I'm imagining we're probably going to get 3.15 within like a month to a month and a half after this. Probably around Christmas.
The problem is that everyone is going to have fully upgraded their esoterics weapons by this point. So you're going to be having your I-200 weapons, and then you're going to get this coming out, which is probably going to start you at I-180 for your relic.
No, I doubt it. I think if anything, it's going to probably start at I-200.
I doubt it. Relic weapons, the end stage of it.
I'm seeing them. They're going to be at I-200, and then they'll probably go like the first quest will bring it up to I-200. Then it'll bring it. There'll be a subsequent short quest that brings it up to 205. Not quite to the 210. Actually, is the Alexander Gordius Savage weapons 210 or 215?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to assume for a minute. Let's say they're 215. Okay. In that case, then it'll probably bring them up to 210. And this way, it'll basically be on par with your SO weapon. But at the same time, I imagine they'll have better stats. Claus is saying that they are 210. So in that case, then I can see the relic weapon being either 205 or 210, but not quite as powerful as the Alex weapons.
Right. I'll be right back. One moment.
Luna says, in all seriousness, I can't wait for Void Ark and Didium. The least excited for Lords of Verminion. I can understand that. I'm looking forward to Lord of Verminion, but that's mostly because I love my minions, and I love Triple Triad, and I love the Gold Saucer, and that's pretty much how I roll. I'm a huge Gold Saucer fanatic. No, seriously. I'm a huge Gold Saucer fanatic, as you can tell by that wonderful piece of artwork that I have in the background. Oh, thank you.
My throat was getting a little dry.
Well, we have been going for, what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
This is probably a really freaking long Chocobo Dash episode compared to normal.
Yeah.
But this is...
It's a big patch.
It is. It really is. And, people are just like, oh, well, we've been waiting for 4.5 months for this patch. It should be huge. It's fucking huge!
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. It looks like their 3.15 is basically going to be the stuff that didn't quite make it in that was supposed to be in there. So
yeah, that's probably just basically like not filler, but finalizing and then putting it in.
Well, the relic, the other
yeah,
stuff
I imagine that's mostly probably just finalizing in that.
Yeah,
because I see the thing is they might be doing that by going, oh well, when we release this, we'll have to bump up the Alex Savage weapons to 215 or something.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm actually really looking forward to the Flying Reapers, but I'm looking forward to the exploration stuff because
I'm not looking forward to more random NPCs for Triple Triad. I'm really not. I'm calling it now. There's probably going to be, let's say, 10 new NPCs. I'm going to say at least half of them are going to have random, and
none of them will be Tataru.
Thank God. Oh my God, Tataru is fucking broken. But I can't see them doing anything over the top with the random. But I can see them making sure that they add new random NPCs.
Which brings up the question, why not Tataru? Why is she specifically removed from it? Which means something's happened to her in the plot that they're not telling us about.
That's not what I'm considering, because remember when 3.0 launched, before 3.0 launched, we could still play against Tataru, and there was in the patch information, they said that during the story, like during parts of it, that Tatara would not be available to play against.
Right. Which means that she's moving from the Forgotten Night, that there's something that
not necessarily something bad's going to happen.
Not necessarily bad, but she's moving. Which probably, I'm wondering if that means that she and Alphinaud and everything are relocating the Scions to a more permanent location.
Possibly, and then she might be available to play after that or something. But
which will require a couple patches down the road for them to progress the story far enough.
I don't see a couple patches. If anything, like they might. What I'm thinking though is, if that's the case, then they're probably going to make it so other NPCs have her cards, and probably just as stingy.
No, I think they pretty much said as much. So. But
well,
you've already got all the tarot cards.
That's not the point. What about other people?
Well, then they're going to have a whole new set of joyful experiences of banging their head against card walls. They will have new and different card walls to bring themselves on.
All right. Well, I think that's it then for tonight.
Okay.
We've pretty much gone over the patch notes. It's been a fantastic affair. Thank you for everybody who's been tuning into the chat. Luna, Klaus, Yuki Yoshiro. We had a few people earlier before the show. I'm super thankful for everybody who attended. Izzy, thank you very much for coming on and giving me a hand. Because I know Eliot was unavailable for this. So I might bring you on the show more often.
I would love that.
Alright, so thank you very much for watching. If you are catching this on YouTube after the fact, please leave a positive or negative comment in the box below. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Twitter at NellCelestine, on Twitch, which is where we're recording this, twitch.tv/NellCelestine. If you're watching on Twitch, you can go to the YouTube channel. Just look up Nell Celestine. I'm over there. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. This is Nell Celestine and my co-host,
Izzy.
Bidding you adieu.